Mr. Speaker, as always, my apologies to the original author. Mr. Speaker, 'twas the night before Christmas, and without detection, our Premier was plotting an 18 election. How would he explain to gathering mobs his failed commitment for 10,000 jobs? Roger Melanson expects a pavilion for raising HST by 300 million. Melanson's performance, the voters will judge it. All that extra money and no balanced budget. The new colour of grits, a brown that is hardy, a change to reflect Kuhn has joined the party. Lepage in a conference was heard to have said the brown is a product of green mixed with red. Headar Shipyard funding is kinda making New Brunswick like communist China. Taxes paid for the labour and then for the dock. Now we're building a ferry and still they're in hock. In the Department of Justice is one of their stars. Landry knows what it's like on both sides of the bars. My friend Andy Harvey, he's cute as the dickens. When he mentions Birdseye, he ain't talking about chickens. Minister Lisa's no stranger to chatter. She brings in legislation that just does not matter. Cost out elections, turn a new leaf. The idea is sound, but her law has no teeth. From the north side of Freddie Stevens, the man to never let facts determine the plan. Minister Rogers is rolling the dice, selling government pot at 3 times street price. On the board of the Dumont for a number of years, Liberal cuts to health care must have him in tears. People are talking and they have a hunch. Bernard will be glad to be free of that bunch. Gallant's chats with Roussel are no longer raucous. Methinks that the weed has subdued all the caucus. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when grits meet an obstacle, all blame they deny. Assessments and ATCON, pot stores and a ferry, extramural, HST, the let go of Clary. No reindeer this year, they're home in their sandals, their spots overtaken by Liberal scandals. With Doherty departing, it's now safe to say, no more attacks on UNBSJ. Grit support in the city continues to slump, so Ed's back to his practice and Keir to the dump. Then there's the man who hates Harbour Bridge. Ricky maintains they should toll it a smidge. When considering lobsters, it's sort of a pity he cares more for crustaceans than the west of the city. A regional minister should always be aware of the places, the issues of which people care. Port City voters are starting to rant that Kirk could not do it, nor can Gallant. Ames is from Charlotte, for those of you mapping. When Grits axed his courthouse, I remember him clapping. In downtown Macadam, SNB left. John is now viewed as the man with hoof cleft. Chasson spins his wheels, but he tries and he tries. Chucky's still thinking spuds come out of ground fries. When Prime Minister Trudeau changed tax on the farm, Chuck made no mention of imminent harm. When it comes to school speed zones, Bill should come clean. We introduced it in 2016. If through next election Monique can hack it, Albert has promised to give her his red jacket. He's got education, the department, not training. Under this guy, teacher numbers are waning. And bring us more doctors. If you did, we'd hear cheers from Wilfred and Daniel advancing in years. Boudreau was brought down by a Parley Beach floater. Soon we shall hear from the Capilet voter. Ben's extramural is raising some fears. $2 billion, no tender, 10 years. A CBC broadcast, an Arsenault in it, was trapped in 5 lies in less than a minute. If in his new job facts are not required, his performance review will be truly inspired. Recruited by Graham, he soon got his fill. They sold out NB Power and died on that hill. In times of great hardship, break party lines won't. We love you, Bert, even if the Grits don't. In the north of New Brunswick, to a jardin handy, exists an auberge owned by a Landry. In the public sector, parts 1 through 4. If in the region you can't pass her door. These are the Liberals, and upon reflection, will drag Gallant down when next in election. Attack ads once used, Gallant quickly pulled from the air as people discovered his resume bare. Gallant ran to his office, and more scandals mired, more civil servants to be blamed and then fired. But I heard him exclaim ere he went out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, I guess Blaine was right."